Design creates culture. Culture shapes values. Values determine the future. These words by the late Robert L. Peters are our thought for contemplation today. Design creates culture. Culture shapes values. Values determine the future. Robert L. Peters was a designer and environmentalist born in Manitoba, Canada, to Mennonite missionary parents. His father, John Jacob Peters, emigrated from Russia to Canada as a refugee in 1926. His mother, Amanda Marie Raymer, a direct descendant of Klaus Raymer, the founder of a Mennonite denomination called Kleine Gemeinde, which means small community. The family moved to Europe in 1957. There, Robert received a bilingual education. Following a foundation art program in Basel, he graduated from Black Forest Academy and then attended a year of religious studies in Capernwray Hall in the United Kingdom. He subsequently volunteered with Operation Palm Branch, an African relief mission based in Bavaria, Germany. In 1974, Robert emigrated to Winnipeg, Manitoba, where he earned a 2-year graphic design diploma from Red River College and a certificate in design management from the University of Manitoba. In 1976, Robert co-founded the design studio Circle Design Incorporated, which received more than 60 awards for design excellence. In 2000, he joined the board of the international humanitarian organization Design for the World. He served as official liaison to the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, as well as the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, from 2001 to 2005. In 2010, he was appointed an ambassador for Indigo, the International Indigenous Design Network. In 1980, Robert designed and built Solace House, an ultra-low energy passive solar house in eastern Manitoba. He was a humanist and an active internationally as a design consultant, strategist, policy advisor, writer, juror, lecturer, and expert speaker. When he suggested that design creates culture, culture shapes values, values determine the future, it seemed to tip some scales in the design world. Some have said that this is counter to the widely embraced understanding that form follows function. Form follows function was coined by architect Louis Sullivan, an influential American architect known as the father of skyscrapers. He first used the phrase form follows function in his 1896 essay, The Tall Office Building Artistically Considered. The principle suggests that a building's shape and design should be based on its intended purpose. To this day, it is one of the prevailing tenets of modern architects. I believe that Robert L. Peters' outlook, design creates culture, culture shapes values, values determine the future, actually completes the premise of Louis Sullivan's form follows function in a cyclical way. Design creates culture, culture shapes values, values determine the future, values therefore determine the function, and the form follows the function, which then circles back to design creates culture, compatible and interconnected premises. Robert L. Peters explained his view this way. He said, I define design as the application of intent. The application of intent. If we place our values at the core, then it stands to reason that, yes, values determine function, form follows function, design creates culture, culture shapes values, values determine the future, and so on. A reliable and intuitive strategy. In the business world, specifically in innovation, marketing, and fundraising, there is a model referred to as design thinking. Some scholars trace the term to John Dewey, who in 1935 created a melding of aesthetics and engineering principles. There were other innovative thinkers and authors that contributed creative ideas to overcoming obstacles and bringing into reality what one envisions, including throughout the 1970s, such widely praised thinkers as Don Coburg, Robert McKim, George Nelson, each offering a seminal part of the path that led to design thinking as it has become today, as were Ken Garland, especially in his First Things First manifesto, which he called out the advertising industry's perversion of design principles and called for the application of design skills in service of social good. And Victor Papanuk's Design for the Real World book, which he spoke to the need for design to address real world problems in ways that consider the state of humanity and the planet. In 1992, designer and scholar Richard Buchanan of IDEO framed design thinking as a response to the question of what design had to contribute to the modern world. It was a human-centered practice. As Tim Brown, executive chair of IDEO, explains, design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of the people, the possibilities of technology, and the requirements for business success. Indeed, IDEO, founded in Palo Alto, California in 1991, applies design thinking to solve complex problems, focusing on human needs, experimentation, and, notably, collaborative innovation. They are touted to have been pivotal in the design of such technological wonders as the original mouse for Apple, innovative ergonomic office chairs, and the first wearable breast pump. They have been collaborative in improving mental health support systems, money management systems, the development of sustainable packaging for food, most specifically reducing food and plastic waste, improving education in emergency response and in school systems, as well as reimagining end-of-life experiences. Design thinking's success is largely derived from their focus on the following. Their focus on empathy, feeling a genuine connection to the project or cause, collaboration, bringing diverse teams together, prototyping, rapidly building and testing ideas, and cross-industry learning, applying insights from one sector to revolutionize another. And a design thinking model that I learned in a marketing and fundraising cohort I was part of in 2019 utilized an anatomy of a reef ecosystem. That's right, picture a coral reef ecosystem as the formula and framework for building or reinvigorating an enterprise. The reef ecosystem includes, from the bottom up, community as foundation, stakeholders, funders, key partnerships, project team, staff, coach, accountability partner, and in our spiritual projects, a holy friend. And you, the creator, the innovator, the visionary. We were taught in Innovation Design Thinking 101, aka How to Build a Thriving Reef, requires fierce will plus humility. The reef applies to the organization as a whole, as well as to each and every project or program you create. Community as foundation, stakeholders, key partnerships, project team, accountability partner or holy friend, and you. What do each look like in practical terms? Starting with community as foundation, the community of people you serve or intend to serve. Design thinking invites the community in to help, yes, but more so to bring about the goal in such a way that it might become especially meaningful component of their lives going forward. Of course, this is the way congregations have always operated throughout history. Design thinking specifically explores rewarding ways of involving people through time-bound task forces organized to accomplish specific goals. The community thrives as it is integral to the ecosystem, mutually beneficial, mutually giving and receiving. Stakeholders as funders, often in the form of governance and advisory boards. These ensure the welfare of the organization or project through strategy, financial oversight, and resource access. Governance boards are comprised of skilled leaders who give time, credibility, and responsibility to guide success. Advisory boards offer guidance, expertise, and connections, supporting your mission with time and insight while gaining meaningful collaborations, relationships, and the fulfillment of helping work succeed. A priority is getting advice from wise people. Next is key partnerships. Once you've identified key activities and key resources that will be necessary for building as you build or re-envision your enterprise, we were encouraged to ask ourselves, what person or organization is already doing that work and might partner with you or contract with you? What talented people with specialized skills might you access through your team, your board, or your network? What organization is doing similar work that might join you? They might join forces with you to share key resources, serve more people, develop a joint donor base. It may even be possible to create a joint venture or even merge. The project team. The project team is vital to creative process of creating solutions, cultivating solidarity and common purpose. I'm going to say that one more time. The project team is vital to the creative process of creating solutions, cultivating solidarity, and common purpose. These are all essential here to accomplish shared vision. Also, humility. First, you want to determine what skills or perspectives do you need alongside you? What do you have already? Which of those do you personally possess? And which skills or perspectives do you need to find in others? Once you have identified those skills, next identified who else needs to be on board as owners on the journey because they share the vision and passion, because they can help access needed resources, because they bring the skills or perspectives that you don't have, because they are willing to seriously invest themselves in your project. And the holy friend, coach or accountability partner. We were taught that we need at least one person who can hold us accountable and whom we can bring into our project, who will be inspiring and inspired by it. A holy friend or accountability partner will support our dreams while tethering us firmly in reality. According to theologian Greg Jones of Duke Divinity School, whose work centers on the nature of forgiveness and the significance of social innovation and entrepreneurship, he says, a holy friend is someone who will challenge the vices that you have come to love, affirm the gifts you're afraid to claim, and help you dream dreams you wouldn't have otherwise dreamed. And the final and originating piece of the reef ecosystem is you. Your enthusiasm, your talent, your desire, your unique dream, your connection to and with all the other parts of the ecosystem, your willingness to spearhead the co-creation. All of these implemented with humility and empathy are the core of design thinking strategy. And design thinking can be applied in your personal life as you chart out its course. Tim Brown, whom I quoted earlier, also has this to say: design can help improve our lives in the present day. Design thinking can help us chart a path into the future. Consider the elements of design thinking's reef ecosystem that already exist in your personal life and the ways you can incorporate more. Community, stakeholders, key partnerships, project team, accountability partner, or holy friend. Many will count this congregation as foundation in their personal ecosystem, the understructure for which much of their life is integrated with, nourished by, their bedrock. Also, family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, social networks, offering a structure, stability, systems of support. Consider, who are your closest friends? Who are your mentors, your advisors? Who shares your values and your visions? Who can you trust to be completely honest with you? Who can you count on to show up, to celebrate with you? What are you really skilled at? Who can you share that with? What would you like to learn or like to have help with? What resources are available to you? Knowing the answers to these, even if the answers for now are temporarily blank spaces, can provide you with the information necessary to populate your personal ecosystem so that you can sustain and even thrive. If after you evaluate your current ecosystem, you find there are gaps, please don't be discouraged. Be proactive. One of the greatest attributes credited to humans is that of our opposable thumbs, a key to accomplishing complex tasks, writing, and our fine motor skills. Humans also have opposable minds, and we can fine-tune them in the directions we choose, as attested in CEO strategy advisor Roger Martin's book entitled The Opposable Mind, where he dove deep into some of the most innovative and unlikely success stories of dozens of business leaders who utilize integrative thinking to strategically problem solve in order to achieve goals. His case studies show how to develop this skill to generate innovative solutions. Both integrative thinking and design thinking champion holding conflicting ideas in constructive tension to generate new, superior solutions. They both look at problem solving through the lens and landscape of creative tension. Creative tension is the productive energy from the gap between your current reality and a compelling future vision. When applied in our personal lives, as in our business endeavors, rather than leaning into stress and conflict or perseverating on what is lacking, we are encouraged to harness this dynamic force, this creative tension. Doing so motivates innovation, enhances problem solving, and generates positive change. If you find that your personal ecosystem is not as complete as you would wish, begin to design it step by step, calling in your partners and filling those gaps. Know that your community is here to support you. Reach out. If you find that your personal ecosystem is thriving, that you have abundance and time aplenty, perhaps you can become someone else's mentor, advisor, or holy friend. It takes a village to build a thriving ecosystem. Design creates culture. Culture shapes values. Values determine the future. Values determine function. Form follows function. And so it is. Amen.